Everyone, this is Flora and this is my case skills lab experiment number 6. Today's experiment is to draw activity diagram. So what is activity diagram? Activity diagram is a document workflows in a system. It's used to document workflows in a system, and it's basically a flow chart to represent from one activity to another, and it can be sequential, branched, or concurrent. It is used for joining two activities or to separate and perform two different activities. Now the symbols used in activities are action states, which are the actual actions that are performed in a particular state. Then we have the transition from one activity to another activity. Then we have a swim lane. Now swim lane is actually, it divides activities according to objects. Like the objects that we drew in sequence diagrams, it would be similar, but it would perform the activity characteristics. It wouldn't be in an interaction manner as we had in sequence, and it would be similar to sequence in column format. Then we have the initial state and the final state, which we used in sequence diagram. A new representative used in activity diagram is the synchronization bar. The synchronization bar is used to split processing or to resume processing. When we have two or more processes happening, we combine them and a single output is given to the next action state. Similarly, if one action state has to go to two or more different states, so action states, we use the synchronization bar. For my scenario, that is an online course registration, I have the following activity chart. One is used without the swim line columns. So this activity diagram, if you see, I have the initial state, then the login action state. So in this login action state, I have to perform two different states, the action states, that is to either view the course or the coordinator can add the course. So one login which will emphasize whether a student can view the course, select the course and register, or the coordinator can add the course. Suppose if the coordinator adds the course, then he enters its details, and it's either confirmed to the coordinator whether he wants to submit it to the database or he wants to retrieve and show the details. So whether he submits it, then he can see the details. If he does not submit it, he can just view the details and stop the process. Next is a student can select the course, he can register. Once he tries to register, the system will then check for its eligibility. If the student is eligible and if there is seats available, that's when the student's registration is successful, or there is an error report that is sent. This activity diagram is done without a swim lane. Suppose if we want to do using a swim lane, so I have four objects here. First one is the website, second the student, then the coordinator, and then I have the web server. So coming from the website, first we have the initial login. Then we have the check constraint type, which will check whether the user is either a coordinator or a student. If he is a coordinator, then he can add the course, he can enter its detail, and over here he confirms his addition and then updates it to the system, or he shows the details and the system stops, or the system gives a completion record. If it's a student, then the student can view the course that is taken from the database, which is updated by the coordinator. Then he can select the course, which course he wants to apply to. Then he can register for the particular course, and if the availability is there, if he meets the eligibility criteria, then the student is sent a successful report. And if it does not satisfy, if the seats are not available, then the student is sent the error report, and on successful completion, that's the end of the state, and this is the final state. So this is the activity diagram using swim lane, that is, it's divided into objects which we used for sequence diagram. Thank you.